You're watching Access Minnesota. Here's Jim Dubois.
Welcome back to Access Minnesota. We're talking about smart grid power technology and how it can save consumers money on their gas and energy bills. Michael Lamb from Xcel Energy is with us, also Crystal Manik. And Michael, let's talk a little bit about something you said in the last segment. Tell us about the online component we were talking about during the break, about how customers can go online and actually track their energy usage.
So just in the last few years, utilities have started to test out online account management systems. Nothing more sophisticated than what you or I might use for our bank, you know, paying bills online. But just think of dealing with your utility online. So instead of calling the utility and dealing with a call agent, you can do all of that work online, including tracking your energy use, including comparing your energy use to others or your past energy use. In addition to that, and Xcel Energy is in that mix. We launched our online account management system in 2009 in Colorado, in conjunction in part with our Smart Grid City effort in Boulder, and we plan to expand that to the rest of our service territory in 2010. And then there are other major league companies, Microsoft in particular, who has launched a product. They call it Microsoft Home, H-O-H-M, where you can sign up for it. I believe it's even free, and compare your energy use to others around you or similar homes around the United States. Just an example of major league companies getting into the business of online energy use because they see a market there.
Michael, a final question for you. What role do alternative energy sources such as solar and wind play in smart grid technology?
A huge role, and here's why. Renewable energy sources like solar and wind are inherently unpredictable. It's up to Mother Nature when you can get energy from them. They're not controllable. The way society uses electricity, and oh, by the way, electricity is the only product that I'm aware of that's manufactured and used in the exact same instant. And storing electricity is very cost prohibitive. So you have a problem there. When you have a significant percentage renewable energy sources coming on the grid, you know, our goal is 25–30% over the next several years, that aren't controllable, you have to accommodate that somehow. You have to still maintain 100% reliability, even though a significant percentage of your energy mix is not at your control. So smart grid plays a role because you can treat demand, the use of electricity, as almost a fuel source and ramp it up and down using smart grid technologies based on the availability of renewable energy sources, or to offset some of that variability that comes inherently with renewable energy sources. We traditionally have been a load-following industry. We try to predict what the load is and then match it with our supply. Smart grid, in my view, will transform our industry to much more of a load-supply balancing industry, where we match the load to the supply available versus simply following the load. And that's the potential that smart grid technologies can play, especially in the face of significantly increasing renewable energy sources.
And Michael, I said it was my last question, but you bring up a really good point that electricity is produced and is consumed simultaneously, so it's difficult to predict load requirements. And I would imagine in the past what electrical systems have done, when they know that they're going to generate an excess load, they can try and sell it to another utility that may have need for it. So in other words, you're telling us that this is going to manage that system a lot more efficiently and there'll be less unneeded excess power generated, correct?
Yeah, I think that's a conclusion you can draw. I mean, and I'd phrase it as a potential benefit, yet to be proven. And again, that's the reason for our Smart Grid City project in Boulder. There are so many more questions than answers at this time, but that clearly is a potential benefit that needs to be proven.
Well, Michael Lamb from Xcel Energy, thanks so much for joining us on Access Minnesota.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Crystal, after the break, we'll come back to you. Crystal Manik from Xcel Energy manages the program that deals with how residential customers can save money on electricity and gas. We'll be back in just a moment on Access Minnesota.